from the Naad to the Dhwani, inside from the huge range of Dhwani, the beautiful Dhwanis, and from these beautiful Dhwanis, the interplay, the modulations, the intricacies, the rise and fall, the ebb and flow create beautiful ragas, and these ragas, that is why feel so good to hear. Hello, this is the Music Foundation India channel, and I welcome all of you back to another interesting episode on Did You Know Facts About Indian Classical Music. As you all know, every Friday I bring you interesting videos about little known facts in Indian classical music. And when I refer to Indian classical music, I have already explained that I usually refer to the Hindustani style of singing, although some of the facts that I discuss apply to music in general. Today's episode is dedicated to the Naad. Naad or the Naad Brahma is the primordial sound or vibration from which everything originated. It is the very source of creation, and it's the very source of energy in this entire universe. So the topic for discussion will be, what is this Naad? How is it manifested in music? And how is Indian classical music specially integrated into the Nada or the Dhwani, or what is special about the use of this universal sound in our music? So let's get started. First of all, as I just explained, Nada or N-A-A-D, Naad or Nada is a Sanskrit term. It originated from the Vedas. It actually found mention in the Vedas. Of course, it originated much before that. Everything which came into existence from a sound. We refer to this sound as the sound of the universe. Some call it the Om, some call it the universal sound, some call it the source of creation. In Sanskrit, this term is called Naad. This Naad can be experienced. It cannot be heard. It cannot be tangibly heard or felt, but it can be experienced through deep listening and through meditation. It is usually just a source of energy that exists. And when we go into deep meditation, we can hear a sound. And many of us who are used to such meditative experiences know that there is a sound of silence, and this sound is referred to as the Naad in our music. Now, what is the relevance of this Naad? Why am I talking about this Naad at all? As I said, this is the source of all creation. So every being, every form, every little thing that we see around us, in the space, in the planets, everywhere in the world, in the universe, is a form of this universal sound energy. So obviously, a little bit of this sound energy is trapped inside everything. So when we hit that object, or when we strike that object, and when there is a medium to travel, we can always hear a sound. Music, of course, you know, is all about sound. But what is the essential difference between a musical sound and a non-musical sound? As I talk, as I speak, is this music? No, it is only speech. So where is music different from speech, and why is the Nada important at all in our music? Next, I come to the term called Dhwani. Dhwani is when we manifest the Naad. Naad is always there inside us, and we call it the Naad Brahma. We practice meditation by singing one simple note, say the Sa. And while we are hearing the vibration outside of ourselves, we are also hearing a vibration inside of ourselves. This is, we experience the Naad. From that Naad, we will try to create musical sounds which we call as the Dhwani. Naad, so the channel that I am holding on to is the Naad. I am actually drawing my energy from the Naad, which I can experience because I have practiced the standing in one note and going into meditation. Naad, it's connecting me to the Naad within me, and then I'm trying to produce the sound. While producing the sound, I have to articulate, modulate, vibrate, use my power of lungs, use my power of bellowing through my belly, use the sound of use the art of modulating the sound through the vocal cords, through the nasal passage. All this comes with years and years and years of practice. But what results as the practice of this, or as a result of this trying to bring out beautiful sounds, is called as the dhwani. Every sound that we hear in this world, every sound that we hear around us is dhwani. Dhwani is nothing but sound. But more often than not, dhwani is noise, because they are not musical sounds. If they are musical, they will be pleasing. If they are non-musical, they will be non-pleasing, or they will be disruptive, or they will be a disturbing sound, like the honking of a horn in the road, shouting, beating of drums, or just making a lot of noise, or just technical sounds. These are non-musical dhwanis, or these are non-musical sounds. So what is the musical sound? How do we identify a musical sound? Anything that sounds pleasing to the ear is a musical sound. And what is very, very astonishing and very, very important to note is that what we say as a pleasing to ear is also referred to as pleasing to the ear on the other part of the globe. So wherever you go, the 7 essential notes are the same, because they resonate within our body. From the nada, this particular 7 sounds or dhwanis resonate within us, and that's why they are pleasing to us, and that's why we call them musical sounds. I have said about this before, the scales and the pitches and the swaras. 7 swaras, 7 pitches and 7 notes. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni, A B C D E F G, and then there is do re mi fa sol la ti. Whichever form of music you adhere to, or you follow, or you understand, it's always these basic 7 sounds which resonate in our body. And why does this resonance happen? Why is this particular vibration so pleasing? The sound is nothing but a frequency, isn't it? The sound has a frequency. When something is vibrating, there's a frequency of that vibration, and the vibration obviously occurs when you're playing an instrument and you're plucking the strings, or you're strumming on the guitar, or you're hitting the drums, or you are singing. And while singing, we produce these sounds from the basic sound, which is the nada, which is the creation of all sounds, which is the creation of the world itself. Nada is entrapped inside our body, inside our navy, inside our navel chakra. And from this nada is created the dhwani, and from the dhwani we actually choose 7 notes, or with a little bit of twists and turns, actually 12 notes, which are musically pleasing and which can be emotionally manipulated to depict certain emotions, to depict certain feelings. We can use and manipulate these 7 notes or these 7 dhwanis, and be it any form of music, it will always sound pleasing to the ear. Now, what is special about vocal music, and why Indian classical music? In Indian classical music, the use of the voice, because it is so organic and because it actually resonates within the singer without the use of any external medium, like the wood in an instrument, or the leather in the drum, or strings like the wires. There's no use of any external medium. There's only the use of our own body elements, like our navel chakra, the nabhi, the stomach, which bellows the or the diaphragm, which actually pushes the air, and the lungs, which actually help this air to be brought out, and this air which strikes against the vocal cords, and then this energy gets transformed into a beautiful sound. The resonance actually occurs in the chakras of our body. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni. Each note, each vibration, each frequency resonates with the 7 chakras in our body. The chakras, as you probably know, are energy nodes. These are nodal points of energies all through the spine, starting from the crown chakra, which is in the head, and going all the way down to the root chakra, which is at the bottom of the spine. Whether this chakra theory or the chakra existence is believed or not, what is true is that the sound actually resonates within our body and hence creates a certain good feeling inside our body. It also heals in its process. In the process of resonating, in the process of striking the same chord as the energy nodes in our body, it also creates certain healing inside the body. The 7 chakras are corresponding to the 7 notes. Now, why am I talking about Nada, Dhvani, Chakra, energy and Indian classical music? Now, what makes Indian music or Hindustani music in particular different from other aspects of or other styles of music is that the use that we make of the dhvani, of the essential dhvani, which is of 7 types. We go on to create a variety of moods, a variety of nuances, a variety of feelings through intricate use of these notes. And because they are sourced from the Naad itself, because they are sourced from the creation of creation itself, because they are sourced from the universal sound which exists in every human being, they produce such a healing sound, such a soothing feeling, and when it comes from the human voice, it is the best of all. It is said that all art, all painting, all instrumental music finally aspires to the condition of vocal music, because vocal music comes directly from the body, directly from the connection with the Naad. There is no hitting, strumming, plucking, playing, nothing is involved. It is simply a divine experience of creating from the source of creation itself. You see, there is an abundance of energy available which we call as Naad. If that is the storehouse of energy, then we are actually delving into that storehouse of energy using various organs inside the body and coming up with a manifestation of a beautiful sound which is pleasing to the ear, called the dhvani. And these dhvanis are interplayed in a very, very I will not say it's an interplay of complex notes. It's just a interplay of very beautiful emotional experiences. Now, what comes out of this dhvani and within the interplay of these sounds is what sounds so fascinating and so soothing to the ear. And because it is organically produced straight from the source of creation itself, it immediately appeals to the listener's ears. And when the emotions are intertwined with this dhvani, when the feelings are intertwined with this dhvani, and when everything becomes a compact, tangible experience, Indian classical music gives to you in its vocal form a very, very ethereal and a soothing experience. I hope that I have made some sense, that I have been able to explain to you the use of sound in Indian classical music. Sound existed before we existed. Sound is the source of everything in this universe, because from that sound, from that primordial sound, from that fundamental source of energy, everything was created. And when that was created, we also created noise, we also created jingle, we also created a lot of jabbering, a lot of things which are not required for our peaceful existence. Language is required for communication, but we have made noise out of language. We have actually misused this energy to a certain extent. I can say that that is found to be useful by some people, but as musicians, from this source of energy, what actually derived was dhwani. Dhwani, which was created, which is made, which is articulated, which is a tangible form, which is a manifested form, and this dhwani refers to sound, and sound is created. Sound doesn't happen by itself. When two things, when two bodies, when two mediums strike each other or a vibration results, there is the formation of sound. This sound in music is termed as dhwani only when it is appealing to the ears, and the appealing sounds are 7 all over the world. The sounds that appeal to human ear are 7, and that is the astonishing fact about music. That's the astonishing discovery in music, that wherever we are, we found that these 7 sounds resonate within us. And why do they resonate? Because they correspond to the existing energy chakras inside our body. Whether they are inside or whether they are just outside the physical body, that again is another topic for discussion. There is the sthula sharir, there is the sukshma sharir. The sthula sharir is the gross body, the physical body, and the sukshma sharir is the energy outside that sthula sharir. Outside the gross body, there is an enveloping layer of energy which flows. In that enveloping layer of energy lies the chakras, and these 7 chakras are the source of energy to the various organs in our body. That's how they function. And the sounds that are pleasing, the sounds that the dhwanis produce, corresponding resonate with these chakras, the energy chakras, and because it resonates, we find it pleasing. It's so beautiful, but we can't explain, because it's just an experience that we are going into, because it's just an experience that we are having. It's not something that we can explain. When the resonance occurs, we say, it's so beautiful, and this is because it resonates within the energy nodes, the energy points inside our body. So from the Naad to the dhwani, inside, from the huge range of dhwani, the beautiful dhwanis, and from these beautiful dhwanis, the interplay, the modulations, the intricacies, the rise and fall, the ebb and flow create beautiful ragas, and these ragas, that is why feel so good to hear. In the instrumental music also, in Indian classical music, I must refer to this point as well. It's not only the vocal music, but in instrumental music also, the instruments have been designed in such a way that they also can replicate nada into dhwani. They can also help the player to bring out dhwani from the nada, from the ultimate source of sound. They can also produce beautiful dhwani by strumming, by plucking, by blowing, by breathing air into the flute or into the trumpet. These sounds make very pleasing experiences to go through, and that's why music is a very beautiful experience, and more so in Indian classical music because of the ragas. The ragas evolve out of an interplay. There are microtones, there are many little nuances given to these ragas, so they just emerge as beautiful beings by themselves. They evolve out of the source of energy into a beautiful form, and then they also resonate to our minds, and when they are heard, we feel so peaceful and we feel so rejuvenated. So that's all for today. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with the Music Foundation. I hope you found this information useful. Do ponder over it. Do write to me in the comment section, and please stay tuned for another episode of Did You Know Facts About Indian Classical Music? Bye-bye.